Oh, happy day. How is everyone today? Listen, we're going to have the chat on the screen today. I put on my fancy chef coat for everyone. So if you've got comments, questions, major life issues, let me know. I'm Chris Van Bloom with the Empty Nest Kitchen, and I'm here today. You know, I get 15 minutes, no more, no less. So a lot of jaw in here, but we are going to go ahead and make a really simple 15-minute dinner, which is going to be air fryer salmon, because you know I love an air fryer, and a little bit of lemon orzo to go with it. So I'm keeping things really simple, but one of the things that is so great as an empty nester, and I have done this before, is I love to get the salmon or any fish fillets or shrimp, anything. I buy it already frozen. Now, this is farm raised, and I know that y'all really like the wild caught or the line caught stuff, which is fantastic, no doubt. But when it comes to a really quick, easy, fast dinner, we're doing everything we can to make it economical, especially, things are getting a little crazy. So we want to make sure that we're being economical with the money we're spending. Look at that right there. Don't ever do the old spray. When I taught the kids cooking camps, it was always so funny because I tell you what, they would spray wantonly over the floor. My goodness. Now, check this out. This is what I'm doing today. I took my little fish, and when I buy it frozen, I get 5 or 6 fillets in a bag. These are perfect. I pull out one, sometimes I pull out two. I do all sorts of different things with them. The other night I made salmon sushi bowls where I made a quick marinade with a little bit of honey and a little bit of soy and some sesame seeds. I cut it into chunks and I put it in the air fryer like that. But I'm going to use my handy dandy spray bottle that I have to do a little bit of olive oil. And of course, I'm going to do a little salt on it. I'm keeping this really easy. I could end up putting on a touch of lemon zest here just to give it a little extra flavor. And then the reason I love this so much, oh my gosh, so much bang for your buck in that lemon zest. I'm going to go to my handy dandy little air fryer, and let me tell you, 408 minutes, okay? Let me tell you, I was just teaching a class this term for the Osher Institute through Johns Hopkins. And when I brought my air fryer in, they all lost their minds. So if you've got an air fryer question, let me know. Let's see. There we go. If you've got one, let me know and I'll do my best to answer it. But I love an air fryer that has the shelves on it. I think when you're cooking for 1 or 2 people, that's definitely the way to go. So I am going to take a little bit of the forbidden, and I'm going to do just a touch of butter. And I'll tell you why. I think I've done this orzo, something like this with y'all before, but we're going to cook it not like it's pasta so much, but more like it's a pilaf. So I'm going to take, have you ever seen tinier little onions than this? My goodness, this itty bitty little guy. All righty, I'm going to take this onion and I'm going to mince it, make it fairly small. And I always have to take that top layer off if I'm doing a class. Now, speaking of classes, we have got a class. You know how much I love my AARP Maryland folks, but we have got a class this Saturday. And can I tell you, I'm so excited. We have almost, you ready? 1,100 people registered for the class. Holy bananas. I am so excited. And we are doing kind of like a little spring brunchy thing. And hopefully you know this by now, but AARP does loads, and I mean loads of free cooking classes all the time. Now, am I partial to my own? Of course I am. But You all can take a look. You only have to do a quick little search and you will find that there are so many great classes out there. Everything's kind of a healthier nature, which I think is fantastic. Since I have changed my diet around, I mean, I'm still a woman of substance, but I am feeling so good and I love teaching with that stuff. So this weekend, we're going to make my very famous cappuccino chip muffins. And here's the best part. Are you ready? The recipe only makes 4 muffins. Hi from Nebraska, Francis. It only makes 4 muffins, which is so great because as empty nesters, we just don't need to make a dozen muffins. And say what you will, I never love having them in the freezer. Not muffins, lots of other things freeze really well. But the muffins, I want them warm and fresh out of the oven. So I'm going to do my cappuccino chip muffins. I'm going to do eggs with ricotta and chives because I knew my fresh chives. Francis, I don't know if you have your fresh chives yet in Nebraska, but the fresh chives, they are a common. Hey, Sheila made it from Jacksonville. So great to see you. Oh, you're so sweet. You pump up my ego. I love it. All righty. So I just took the orzo and popped it in there with that onion. The onion still needs just a little time, but what I want to do is go ahead and start toasting that orzo a little bit. This is that whole thing where you can get more flavor. We're always trying to figure out more flavor because as we're eating more simple meals, because I will tell you, as somebody who's cooking for 1 or 2 people, I don't want to spend an hour making dinner. I've got more time now. I still don't want to spend an hour making dinner. I'm sorry. Maybe on a Saturday, maybe something like that. I'm getting ready to go away with friends. You'll see when I tune in this weekend, I'm going to be in a different kitchen. But I won't have any problem sitting in the kitchen this afternoon, whipping up all sorts of food for tomorrow night. That I'll love. But on a regular night, seriously, who wants to do that? So as we're making more simple food in the empty nest, it's so important that we're, making sure it's flavorful, that it comes together quickly, and that it's giving us all the nutritional stuff that we need. All right, this is starting to smell a little roasty toasty. And because I'm going to do it more pilaf-like, that's why I can start it that way. And then prepare for sizzle. There it is. We're going to go ahead, pump this up. I added twice as much liquid as I did pasta. All right. And I'm going to do a little lemon zest. Oh, Bonnie, I'm so glad. That sounds good. Now, listen, Bonnie, Francis, and Sheila, you all have a special job. And I know I'm asking a lot. Don't worry, I know. But you should invite somebody to come and sit with you when you do the class, when you're sitting there. You all are always so nice to me. All right, now I'm going to go in here in my little grater, give that a little tap, tap, tap. And then I'm going to actually add a squeeze of juice. Now, I always like to squeeze it. I'm teaching the college class now, and I still have students. Natalie's here. Aloha. I love my Natalie. All right, Natalie comes from Hawaii. It's always such a joy for me. Everybody is such a joy. Francis in Nebraska, Florida, all that good stuff. Now, hold on. I have some of that vegetable base. Y'all know I love these. I'm going to add a bit of that because it just gives you better flavor. Hey, Pitch, Massachusetts. Okay, you all are spoiling me today. I don't even know what's happening. I love this so much. I put that in because I always say this is your opportunity to get flavor inside your noodle. Otherwise, you're working with, excuse me, you're working with just flavor kind of resting on the outside. This gives it a chance to absorb. So you can use chicken, you can use all of that. Judy's local. Judy's with me locally. I love that. Now, I will tell you, I am going to add, look how beautiful this spinach is. If you all have a chance to go to an international market somewhere, you should totally do that. This was $1.49 for this spinach. And I'm going to make something called japchae, which is a sweet potato noodle with vegetables and some steak. I'm going to make that for dinner tonight. But it has this fresh spinach in. And this fresh spinach, $1.49. That's a good deal. But we all know spinach collapses into nothing. So I'm going to go and do a little, and I don't even mind some yummy spinach stems there, right? Just give it a little rough chop for when this is done. All righty. Now, I think you probably noticed, because y'all are my eagle eyes. I'm looking at Sheila's like, I'll try. I really think it's so important to have friends. I think we need friends. I really do. And I will tell you, I myself personally tend to turtle in. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to be at home. Since the pandemic, I turtle in, and I would rather stay at home, be by myself, be with my husband, do all of that. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. Perfect. Let's check it. Yeah. Now, I'm going to bring this out in a second, but I want to talk to you about, well, here, I want to talk to you about this salmon, because you can cook the heck out of your salmon if you like. I like mine cooked through, but not getting too, not so it gets tough, because you know how fish will get kind of tough when you overdo it. Oh, here we go. You didn't wash the spinach. I didn't wash the spinach, Judy. I'm a rebel today. I'm a rebel. All right. So one of the things I want to point out to you, I did it, and I don't know if you noticed, and my salmon is hot, but over on the side here, I took the thinner part of the salmon and I tucked that tail under, tucked it right under, because that will help it cook more evenly. What I'm trying to do is make sure my salmon's kind of all as close to the same thickness as I can get it. Whenever you have that little tail, and I always think about like a pork tenderloin or maybe even a beef tenderloin. I mean, who can afford that nowadays? But I always think about it as that part is going to get way overcooked. So whenever I have, and it's just part of the natural fillet of the fish, right? The fish is fatter up top and thinner in the bottom. So when you cut that fillet off, you'll always have that little thin piece. I just tuck it under, and then you have a much more consistent cook through the whole thing. All righty, look at this. Woo! All right, we're gonna bump that up a little because that's who we are today. I love to see that y'all are coming to class. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I need all of you regulars to be in there. I bet we're over 1,100 by the time it comes. I need all of you regulars in there so that I can see you and say hello and keep my wits about me as we do that. Oh, and I'm doing the extra crispy potatoes. I think I might have done those last year, but they're so good for a brunch. I wanted to throw them in to this one again. And I know that we're all set with this month. Next month is online and open for registration. And I am making a dish that I made in the Osher Institute class that they went so crazy. A number of them came back and told me the next week that they had made it, how much their families, like, you know, adult kids came over to visit, all that good stuff. It was really sweet. It was a really sweet moment. And that's a farro dish with lots of arugula. I'm going to do some grilled shrimp to go with it. You get the vibe. You get the vibe. All right, so let's see how this is coming. This is looking pretty good. Now, I'm letting my orzo cook. I'm going to give it a little stir. And one of the things that I like to do, and one of the things we're definitely doing here, is we're using that pasta water, right? Because the starch from the pasta goes into the liquid. So you've probably cooked a recipe before where it says, reserve the pasta water and then you dump it down the sink. I've done that so many times. So now if I'm ever doing it that way, I always put a measuring cup right under the colander. I just set it up that way so I don't have to think about it. So I've got that set up. But for this, because we're cooking it in a set amount of liquid, we're not doing it like, oh, we're going to drain this pasta. This works really nicely to help with some creaminess to it without adding any cream. Isn't that the best? Creaminess without adding cream. All right. And I will say at doing a half cup of the pasta and a cup of the liquid, that is ample for 2 people in my world. And you can pump this up. Let's say you really love peas, throw peas in halfway through cooking. If you really love asparagus, throw asparagus in that you've trimmed the bottom and chopped. This video did not show up on the event page. Sorry about that, Deborah. Oh yeah, that's really good. Ooh. I don't even think that needs any salt. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my uncleaned spinach and I'm gonna just pop that in there and give it a little toss. And you're gonna know what happens here. That spinach in no time is gonna wilt right in. It goes to nothing. Look at my glasses. Francis will get a kick out of that. All right. I think this is delicious. And I'm going to take a little bit, almost risotto-like, right? And then I want it to give me a little shake and a little shimmy. I'm going to pop my salmon on and then just a little bit of extra lemon juice there. And shazam. Look at that. Look at that. Look how easy that is. Totally delicious. So listen, I will see you, and I'll tell you what, Deborah, our events are always streamed. Our AARP events are always streamed on the AARP Maryland Facebook page. All right. So I will see you there. And there you go. I can't wait to cook with you on Saturday. Make sure you get those registrations in and have a happy day. I'll see you guys.